In high stakes leadership, your strategy rarely fails because it's wrong. It fails because it isn't clear. You know the feeling. You step into the boardroom with a bold transformation. The market analysis is solid. The financials are bulletproof. The deck has been refined. You speak with conviction. You have done the work, and yet, as the discussion wraps up, you feel the polite nods, the scribbled notes, and the sideways glance at the clock. You have earned agreement but not alignment. The intent was strong, but the influence was weak. Because in that room isn't the brilliance of your content that moves people, it's the clarity of your message that creates conviction. This is the blind spot for many CEOs. You assume that if your strategy is logical, others will follow. But boards, investors, and teams don't act on your intent. They act on your clarity. And clarity doesn't live in a 40-page deck or a perfectly balanced spreadsheet. It lives in how you influence, sharpens priorities, writes off trade offs, and makes the next step unmistakable. Without that clarity, even the strongest strategy can unravel. A pause is read as hesitation. A polished slide is dismissed as noise. One vague phrase fractures alignment across the table. That's why clarity isn't a soft skill, it's one of the most decisive levers of your influence as a CEO. Here is the truth. Most CEOs stop at the first rank of clarity. They deliver the message and they assume the job is done. But influence is not measured by what you say. It's measured by what others believe enough to act on and ultimately what they are willing to own. Ownership is where real alignment lives. It's the moment when your board advocates for the strategy as if it were their own. It's when your execute team executes not out of compliance but conviction. It's when your investors and stakeholders carry your message into their own conversation, repeating it without hesitation. That leap from message to ownership doesn't happen automatically. It only happens when clarity runs through every layer of your influence. Clarity isn't what you say, clarity is what others repeat without distortion. Because every gap is costly. It shows up as hesitation in your boardroom. It shows up as a drift in your management team, and it shows up as a lost trust in the market. Two questions to carry with you into your next high stakes meeting. Where could my vision be misinterpreted as doubt? How will I know when clarity has become ownership? And if this resonates, this is exactly what we pressure test inside the Influence Lab. Not in theory, but in confidential real world simulation where leaders practice clarity under pressure. Because clarity isn't a soft skill, it's your influence in action.